Hey guys, what's up? It's Megan, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to get paid as a yoga instructor, like how the ins and outs of how do we actually get paid. I know that's probably a common question if you're looking to start a profession in teaching. You probably want to know, like, how do I make money? Well, it's a very good question, and it's not super easy to do in this field. However, it is possible. So the way that you get paid, it really kind of varies depending upon the studio and the situation that you put together with either your employer, the person who owns the studio, whether you actually own the studio, are you renting a space, so on and so forth. But I'll give you kind of a run through, a general breakdown from what I've experienced for the most part. Here in Costa Rica, which is where I'm currently teaching, I personally get paid per student, and so I get a percentage amount that I get paid for each person that comes to my class. And then on top of that, I sell packages, so more for local clients that live in the area. So I'll get paid based upon, I'll sell a 5-class card or an 8-class card or a yearly membership, and so on and so forth. And so how that works is then I get basically 60% of that, and then the hotel where I teach at takes the other 40 for hosting and allowing and them providing the space, right? So that's pretty much the breakdown for me and my regular classes. And so the advantage to that is the more people you have, the more money you make, which is always a really good thing, right? The downside is that when it's slow, you don't make as much money. So it's kind of one of those things of weighing out how often are you more full with students and how often are you slower. What's going to be a better way for you to negotiate how you get paid, if that's even available for discussion, depending upon who it is that you're working with or what have you. Then the other ways that we can get paid is per class. A flat rate per class. This is going to vary too, dependent upon where you are globally. Like, I charge quite a bit less here in Costa Rica than I would back in Denver. It's just that the rates down here are just a little cheaper, so I can't charge what I would necessarily charge in the United States. For example, like a private here, I'll charge $65 an hour, and back in the United States, I would charge $100 per hour. And so, again, a bit of a difference in price there, just to give you kind of an idea a bit. And then again, getting paid per class, the advantage is you always know that you're going to count on that X amount of dollars, whatever that is that you've arranged. Like when I would sub classes in Denver, I generally got paid $30 a class, which is pretty common across the board, depending on where you are. Again, whether you're in somewhere like Costa Rica or you're in Colorado, or if you're teaching somewhere, of course, like New York or Los Angeles, it's going to be, of course, more expensive there because that's just cost of living and so on, or San Diego, or that kind of part of California. Places like that are going to typically be a little bit more expensive for classes and privates and so on. But generally, it's about, like I said, roughly around 30 a class or so. So the nice thing is with that is you always know what you're going to expect to get paid. But again, downside is if you're teaching, really packed classes and your classes are growing and growing, then maybe it's better for you to go back to teaching by per the head. Is maybe a better way for you to receive your earnings in that way. Another way that I can generate a little bit more income is teaching privates. So those are a really, really good way to make a little extra money, and not so much just requiring on your public classes. But that's definitely one of the ways that I find that I can add a little bit of income, a little bit easier income, is just trying to connect with as many private clients as possible. And then, of course, for myself, it's doing things like retreats. If I can book a few of those a year, another really, really great way for me to kind of make a little bit more in one chunk than just kind of working daily for, the whole year. And let's see, yeah, that's kind of the gist of it for the most part, to give you a little bit of a breakdown. So it's certainly not one of the easiest professions to make a fortune in, but you can make it work. You can make a living with it, and if depending upon how much you have studied and how hard you're willing to work at just building a client base and getting in with a good studio. But it's certainly possible, but you gotta really work hard to make it happen. And I also turn to other avenues for other additional income too, like doing a lot of the food cleanses. I used to do a lot in Denver. I've worked at restaurants. I've done a little bit of everything on the side. I used to help run Shaka with the guest relations just to help pad my income a bit. And you know, that's usually what you have to do if you're planning to work in this profession. And yeah, it's not the easiest, but it's well worth it if you can find just the right spot and make it work. So thanks guys for checking it out, and we'll have more to come for you, so have a good day. Ciao.